Hello everyone, Alex here from WarrenOffKeys.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use one database connection throughout all of your bot instead of creating a connection for every single time you want to access the database. Now this can be useful if you have a lot of different instances where you are accessing the database and you want to make sure that you don't have to type out all of the connection code and make sure you disconnect. This is going to make your code a lot cleaner. And real quick before we start, if you do need help with anything, feel free to ask in the Warren Off Keys Discord server, and I'm sure someone will be able to help you there. So with that said, let's get started. Here I have this project. A link to the GitHub repository can be found in the video description. And within my utility folder, I have my Mongo file. And within here, this is where we actually create our connection to Mongo. This file is used a lot. For example, if I go inside of my commands, I can go to my daily command, which I previously covered in another video. Scrolling down, we see that we create a Mongo connection, we wait for a mongoose object to be returned, and then we have a try finally, which will hold some logic, and then it will close the connection. This code here, where we're closing the connection, and this try statement with a new Mongo connection, this is what we're looking to actually replace and get rid of. So essentially, we're going to create one Mongo connection within our main file, and we're going to use that throughout our entire project. So to do that, I'm going to go inside of Mongo, and we have to change this here. Within the options, within this argument right here, we have to pass in something called keep alive, and that's going to be a Boolean of true. This means that this connection is not going to time out by default, which it will without this, and so this is going to be one solid connection that will always be there, and so we can then use that connection to work with MongoDB. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and going inside of our main file, we want to import Mongo. So I'm going to say const mongo equals require @util. And here I'm using something called module aliases. I have a video on that. Essentially, I can type in specific names of folders instead of passing in the relative path. But if I were to pass in the relative path, it would simply be util/mongo. So if you don't have module aliases, you can just use that. But I do, so I'm going to say @util/mongo. So now that I'm importing that, I can scroll down to our ready event callback, and we are wanting to create a new Mongo connection. So I can say await Mongo. And this is going to create a Mongo connection that will be used no matter where we are within our project. And this is the only connection we have to create. So I can go ahead and save this. And I'm going to go back to the daily command where we have these things right here where we're connecting to Mongo. I'm going to click on the curly brace for the try block. And I'm going to scroll down so I see the ending curly brace right here. I can then select all of the code and I can cut it. And then I can delete all of this remaining code. This is the logic to actually connect to the database and make sure we close the connection afterwards. And I'm just going to paste in what I previously had right here. And to make sure that this still works, I can run the bot. I can say node index.js within my console. We get no errors. Going back into tutorial, we see that my tutorial bot is online. I can run !daily. And then it says you have already claimed your daily rewards. So this is something that I previously have tested, that's why I see it here, but this means that it actually did reach out to the database and check to see the actual timestamp that was updated, and here we see the new results that are returned. So with this said, our bot is now using one database connection, and if you are following along with the series, then the GitHub repository will have all of the previous database connections removed in favor of this, so if you don't want to go through and update everything, you can just use the files from the GitHub repository. But it is important that you understand the concept of why we're doing this and also exactly how we're doing this, so you don't just copy and paste the code blindly. Thanks for watching this Discord.js tutorial. If you want to learn more about Discord.js, consider clicking on the playlist you see on your screen now. If you need help, feel free to leave a comment or ask in the Warren Off Keys Discord, which can be found in the video description.